All right, welcome back to a new video, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be discussing the shells in Marathon, which essentially are just classes. So they're very similar to hero shooters, actually almost identical to hero shooters. So we'll be talking about today which ones are best for you, what I think are the best overall, and which ones you shouldn't touch. And we'll also be talking about Rook, which is kind of different OP in its own way. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so let's talk about the different shells in this game. So essentially the shells are just classes, the characters you play as in Marathon as you're doing your raids. They're all different, all have different skills, all do different things to cater to your playstyle. So first, I want to talk about Rook, just to get it out of the way. So if you've played other extraction shooters, you know you always have, like Tarkov, for example, you have a scav. Essentially, when you're broke, you have nothing left, or you just, don't want to go in with stuff from your vault, you're going to play as Rook. Now, Rook works a little different than any other shell, and that's because he can only be played solo against trios. So when you go in as a Rook, you're up against full squads or full trios. So it's kind of, if you know what you're doing, it can be kind of fun because you can set up ambushes. Rook's a rat essentially. So one of his skills over here is activate your prototype frames emergency repair system. It's just a heal. However, if you pop it and then you start taking damage, you'll stop healing. As you can see right here, it says interrupted when you take damage. So it's a free heal. It's not a bad skill. But this one right here, signal masks, probably, I'm not gonna say OP, but it's nice. So basically it's a disguise. So when you're walking through the robots, the UESC robots on any map, they're going to think you're one of them. Now, if you get too close to them or you hang around them, they're going to know. They're going to eventually figure out this isn't one of us. Also, if you start running, it'll drop the disguise, so you have to walk when you have it activated. If you do any other kind of movement, if you do movement and if you take damage, it's just going to go away, and they're going to realize you're not one of them. So that's Rook. The other thing that's interesting about Rook is if you go over here to your factions, let's see, go to upgrades, and you go to these capstones down here. A lot of these capstones are going to upgrade your Rook. So like this one right here, you'll start with credits as a Rook. I'm pretty sure every faction has something that helps Rook out. The real OP one, though, is if you want to grind it out, which, as you can see, I have not been grinding out Arachne at all. I've been focusing on Cyrachne to get my vault space. But, yeah, you can start off with implants. There's also, which one is it? You start off with this combat shotgun, so instead of like a random weapon, you start off the shotgun, and that's kind of, like I said, kind of OP, especially up close. So, that's Rook.
Push the fight or stand aside.
Let's talk about Destroyer, the Chad of the game, the Ultra Ego Chad. So, Destroyer is what I like to call, it's Master Chief, it's a Titan from Destiny. Bungie always has one of these characters in their games. So his main ability is missiles. So you got missiles on your shoulders, fire them off. Doesn't do stupid damage, but I have gotten down. So, you weaken somebody, those missiles hit them, they're down. So it's a free down essentially. The Riot Barricade's really nice as well. It's just a riot shield. So if you got a teammate that's downed and you have another teammate reviving them, you stand in front of them with that riot shield. So it's really good for pushing, especially if your team you all got mics. You know, you can have a destroyer push up the shotgun, and then you can have two, you know, behind you. It's really nice. Thruster and tactical sprint. So tactical sprint is if you guys ever played Call of Duty, it's the same thing. It's a faster sprint. It does drain your heat. So same thing with thruster. It's just a dodge. So you can dodge forward, back, side, anywhere your direction is, you dodge it. Also, both of these do drain your heat quite a bit. So if you're going to be running Destroyer, I suggest leveling up your heat tree in Cyberacne.
Let's run.
Now, Vandal. I probably have the least amount of play time with Vandal. That's just not really my playstyle. Plus, I don't think she really does anything for the team. It's more of a solo playstyle, in my opinion. So she's basically the flanker. Her main ability is Amplify, and you overcharge your movement system. So you move faster, jump faster. You're on crack. Basically take crack. And then Disrupt Cannon, your arm turns into a cannon. You fire this blast. It doesn't really do that much damage again. But the cool thing that it does do is if you have somebody downed and you notice that they're getting revived or something like that, or even if someone's in smoke, you can fire that bitch into there and it'll send everybody flying that it hits. So has its uses. I think it's on the weaker end. She also gets a double jump, and then power slide, you can slide more. So overall, not really my cup of tea when it comes to play style. She just doesn't really do much for me, in my opinion. So
get me down there.
Next, you got Recon. Echo Pulse, sorry. Basically, it's wall hacks. You pop it, you can see. You can't see the outline, but you do see a diamond. So essentially, it's just having a tad on cooldown. So you just have a moving tad. It's very, very nice when it's active. Very nice. Tracker drone. Just throw out a little micro robot. Does damage, blows up. It's like a nade, blows up, and then also it overheats people it touches, so they can't move very quickly. This one is a little finicky though. I have thrown it out and I've just watched it literally like do circles. So like I don't know what's going on with that. Let me know if you guys have had the same issue. But when it works, it's nice, but most of the time it doesn't work for me. So I don't know what's going on with that. Interrogation, also really nice. So whenever you go and do a finisher and you knife somebody when they're downed, it will ping the rest of their crew. So if you're playing Recon or you have a Recon on your team, let them do the finishers if possible. That way you can ping everybody else or the rest of their teammates. Stalker Protocol, also very nice. If someone pings you... Actually, no, that's not that ability. Which one am I thinking of? Yeah, it's this. Okay, so interrogation. I got it mixed up. So when someone pings you into interrogation, it'll let you know when you got pinged. It's like that one perk from Call of Duty where like it's called different things, but like your screen will light up in the direction that someone's looking at you. It's kind of the same thing. Stalker Protocol. When you break someone's shield, it has like a little red and orange like trail on the ground. It's like Tracker. I hate trying to compare everything to Call of Duty, to Call of Duty perks, but it is what it is. It's Tracker from COD essentially. So you break someone's shield, they're being tracked. I think overall Recon is like a top tier shell to play.
Time
Right, so
erases
everybody's
the details.
favorite assassin. I'd probably have the most time played with assassin. Smokescreen, great. Helps your teammates out when you're trying to extract. Helps reviving. Helps to get away. It's probably, in my opinion, one of the best skills in the game. On top of that, you go invisible every time you hit smoke. So, active camo, it is what it is. Invisibility, I talked about it in my review. I don't think particularly it's OP. It's basically the camouflage from Halo. If they're moving, you can still see them. I've not had any trouble seeing a moving assassin that's camoed. I have heard, like I said in the review, that some people were saying that they can't see him on higher graphics. I have not had that issue. Now, shadow dives, pretty cool. You can jump from anywhere, no matter the height. Hit that, you're gonna hit the ground and throw smoke out. Pretty self-explanatory. It's pretty cool. And then shroud. Again, every time you go into smoke, you turn invisible. Now, when you leave the smoke, you're still invisible for a little bit. It doesn't last as long as camouflage or active camo, but it's pretty nice. To keep in mind, too, it's not just your smoke. You can use any smoke. So smoke grenades and even your enemy smoke, you go into that, you're invisible. So overall, he's kind of, in my opinion, he is one of the most OP shells, especially in solos. Team play is also great. People like, oh, he's a solo play. No, team play is nice having an assassin because the flanking, he's a better flanker than Vandal in my opinion. You got smoke screen, which you can do so much with smoke. It's just top tier. And then probably the best shell in the game is Triage. He's your healer. So his reboot plus, you can revive instantly. You can revive 2 people at once. So if you get your 2 teammates close together, throw it out, you can revive both of them. You also can use this as an EMP, so you can use it aggressively. I do not recommend doing that. You will probably die instantly if you try running up and EMPing somebody with this. Save it for revives. You can also, when someone's fully dead and they're down to just their bag, if you do this to their bag, instant revive. So no matter what down state they're in, this is the instant revive. Medrone, pretty self-explanatory. Throw it out, heals your teammates, even their shields. So it'll start healing their health first, and then it'll move on to their shields. Sharewire, this one's really, really nice, especially when you're doing a lockdown. So if I'm triage, I put drones on both my teammates. I pop a antivirus. Both my teammates have antivirus. So it's very nice, very nice. Battery discharge. I mean, it just boosts the performance of your weapons. That's all it is. I've not really had... half the time I even forget to pop this. If you're using like a V75 Scar, this is kind of nice because when you break a shield with the Volt weapon, it EMPs the people as well. So, top tier, A tier, S tier, whatever you want to say. This is probably the best for team, even kind of solos. I wouldn't say the best for solos. Assassin's best for solos, but like best for trios, triage, all the way around. Just the best shell in the game. Keep in mind though, when you get into gunfights against other runners, and you're playing triage, they're probably gonna go for you first. It's the oldest trick in the book. Kill the healer, then you don't have to worry about your other their teammates healing. So keep that in mind. Also with triage, you don't really want to be up front. You're gonna kind of want to stay behind your teammates, let them do the damage, and you kind of heal them. So I would recommend using marksman rifles. The battle rifle is really good to have. Snipers, stuff like that, just to stay back a little bit. All right, last but not least,
do it right or
we
not
got
at
Thief.
all.
I really like Thief. Her pickpocket drone, you can go around and steal shit out of people's pockets, like their most valuable item. Whenever I use it, I don't really do that. I just use it for recon, essentially. You used to be able to open doors with it too on Outposts. I don't know if you can still do that actually. I know they said, I'm pretty sure they patched it. And then you got a grappling hook, which is great. Pretty self-explanatory. Throw it out, you know, good movement ability. Now the visor, put it on, look at a building. It shows you every container that can be looted, and it also is color coded. So if there's, I think it takes like the overall value of the inside, or the highest value inside that container. So if there's a purple in it, the container will show up purple, so you know to go to that one. This is really good on those for the locked crates that you need a key for. You can just pop that visor, that way you know which one to open up to get the best value out of that key. Also, while you have this active and you're aiming at people, as long as you keep their line of sight, you hack them. This works on the NPCs and runners. so it disrupts their vision until you break line of sight with them. Thief is overall a pretty good shell. I don't think she's not bad. I don't think she's great, but she is fun to play. If you're trying to, be a loot goblin, you definitely want to check out Thief. Alright guys, so those are all the shells that are in the game for now. I'm sure Bungie will be adding more in the future. Overall, like I said, I think Triage is S tier, Assassin, A tier. Everybody else kind of sits in that middle ground. Everything is viable, everything is playable, and you will have success if you learn to play that character the way they're meant to be played. The only one that I say is lower, like low end, in my opinion, is Vandal. And I've seen a lot of people kind of have the same opinion of her. I've also seen a lot of people say she's the best. I don't understand that. But, I mean, if your playstyle is just fast, I'm pretty sure she's very, what's his name in Apex Legends, like Octane? It's the same thing. You're a crackhead. So if you like moving around the map fast, you can use her. If you want to move around fast and still have more team dynamic, though, I would just say play Destroyer. Because you have that tactical sprint. You have the boost, which you can boost forward at stupid lengths. So, like, I think Destroyer is better than Vandal. And if you want that, even though he's a big dude, he's still one of the faster characters in the game. So, like I said, Vandal, low tier for me. Everything else is cool. I think the more the game gets played, the more hours we get into it, the more people, mess around with these shells and the team balance and shit like that. I think Recon's going to move up into that A tier. Right now, I have her right below Assassin. But once people, because I mean, Assassin, I think is always going to be those characters who can go invisible are always going to be up there. People are always going to play them, especially in solos, because it's ratty. But being able to see through buildings, even though it's a long ass cooldown, when it is up, it is great. And there are things, consumables you can pop to get your abilities back faster. So I think it's like a performance something. But pop that and you can get your shit faster. I think once people start realizing stuff like that, I think Recon will move up a little bit. But yeah, guys, that's what I think about these shells, these classes in Marathon. Myself, I've been really playing Destroyer more. Like I said, though, like Assassin, Recon, those are the two I have the most with. But I think I'm really liking Destroyer lately, so I might stick with Destroyer for a little bit. Let me know what you guys been playing shell-wise. Which is your favorite shell? Which one do you hate? Which one would you love to have on your team when you go into a raid? And which one, when you get in the raid, you just fuck? You just say fuck whenever you see that shell. So thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget, like, subscribe, share. As always, have a great one. Thanks for watching.